Free NFL picks. This is action here for Sunday, December 17th. Tony T, our NFL pick show here for Sunday's action. It features all 11 games. Before we get into just a couple things, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have free NFL picks updated all season long. Free picks every day from all the major sports, making it a great time to subscribe. And also, if you would support our channel with a like, a thumbs up, we greatly appreciate it. Then visit Tony'sPicks.com. We are a multi-capper site showcasing top performers in our industry. Click the links to the hot cappers, get signed up to long-term passes. Hot cappers like Joseph Schultz for the year, Hollywood Sam. Nick Fartini's been on fire. Daniel Walshchuk as well. Tiffany, last 7 days, last 30 days, doing well. Probably off to a good start here for the day. Click the links, get signed up to long-term passes. Find our latest print picks here at the page with tabs for our best bets, our multi-packs. We've got also our $15 premium play as well. We're ready to roll here. We'll be set to roll here for the action on Sunday coming up. So guys, make sure you log in and get signed up. Also, you may purchase our plays a la carte from that pick ticker. You'll find team versus team information. And you can save 20% off all premium pick packages when you use that promo code TonyT at checkout. You can access our page by clicking the link in the description and click the All Cappers tab, get signed up. Also, we're going to introduce our service here for big bankroll players. You move a nickel or a dime a game. We have an executive service now available. Only for the bigger players. It's expensive because it's a lot of overhead to run a service like this. You'll get plays throughout the betting cycle when the line's open throughout the day. Near game time, we move on information. So guys, make sure you check us out here if that fits your description. High net worth individual moving big money on games. Call or text us 323-607-0203 for executive service. All right, let's go ahead. Let's get this one started. Texans and Titans NFL pick this one here on Sunday. Tennessee receiver Westbrook Inkine is questionable on defense and end and nose tackle are out here for the Titans. And end linebacker and free safety are questionable. Now Houston, C.J. Stroud doubtful with that concussion protocol. Receivers Collins and Brown are questionable. Also questionable their right guard and right tackle on defense and end and linebacker out. Houston fouled at 7-6, a 30-6 road defeat to the Jets. Texans rushed for 81 yards on 19 carries. They allowed 3 yards per rush to the Jets with 268 yards passing on 36 attempts. C.J. Stroud was questionable early. We know he's got that concussion. Davis Mill 1 of 5 in relief, 4 yards, 0.8 yards per pass attempt. Tennessee now 5-8, a 28-27 road win on Monday to Miami. Titans rushed for 83 yards on 29 carries. They surrendered 5.1 yards per rush to the Dolphins, but only 208 yards passing on 33 attempts. Tennessee had a -2 turnover margin. Will Levis, 23 of 38 passing for 327 yards with a touchdown and interception. He averaged 8.6 yards per pass attempt. Of course, Davis Mills and Case Keenum split reps this week. Either one could start. Stroud did not practice this week as he sat in concussion protocol. The receiving core and right side of the offensive line banged up. Titans 4-1 straight up, enter the spread at home. The Texans, they're not going to help their backup quarterback much here because their run game generates only 3.7 yards per rush. And Houston is allowing nearly 69% completion rate, ranking 30th in the league. And they allow big plays in the passing game. Play here Tennessee -3. Jets and Dolphins NFL pick this one here on Sunday. New York fullback Bowden, their center and right guard are questionable with their right tackle doubtful. On defensive end is questionable. Miami receiver Tyreek Hill, left tackle, center and right tackle questionable with their right guard out. On defense, a linebacker, cornerback, and free safety are questionable with their strong safety out. New York improved to 5-8. A 30-6 home victory to Houston. Jets rushed for 79 yards on 26 attempts. They allowed 81 yards rushing to the Texans with 54 yards passing on 11 attempts. Zach Wilson, 27 of 36 passing for 301 yards, 2 touchdowns. He averaged 8.4 yards per pass attempt. Wilson had a questionable designation early in the week with that minor knee injury. Looks like he'll play through it. Miami 9-4 after their 28-27 home defeat to Tennessee. Dolphins rushed for 158 yards on 31 carries. They allowed 3.1 yards per carry to the Titans with 320 yards passing on 38 attempts. Miami had a +2 turnover margin. Tua Tagovailoa, 23 of 33 passing for 240 yards, 7.3 yards per pass attempt. At home, the Dolphins have covered 4 of 6 as they average 37 points and 479 yards a game. Zach Wilson is dealing with that minor knee issue, as we mentioned. Wilson has been poor on the road, completing just 54%, 6.7 yards per pass attempt. He has thrown 3 touchdowns, 6 picks away from home. That New York 32nd ranked offense will struggle matching scores with the Dolphins here. Play here, Miami -9. Bears and Browns NFL pick this one here on Sunday. Chicago receiver St. Brown is out with receiver DJ Moore questionable. On defensive safety is questionable. Cleveland center on offense is out. On defensive tackle, linebacker, and corner are questionable with the safety out. Chicago improved to 5-8, a 28-13 home victory to Detroit. Bears rushed for 142 yards on 30 carries. They allowed 140 yards rushing to the Lions with 127 yards passing on 35 attempts. Chicago had a +3 turnover margin. Justin Fields completed 19 of 33 passes for 223 yards with a touchdown. He averaged 6.8 yards per pass attempt and rushed for 58 yards and a touchdown. Cleveland 8-5 after their 31-27 home victory to Jacksonville. Browns rushed for only 82 yards on 28 carries. Cleveland had 3 turnovers and forced 4 from the Jaguars. Joe Flacco hit 26 of 45 passes for 311 yards with 3 touchdowns and an interception. He averaged 6.9 yards per pass attempt in the game. The game will be impacted by bad weather, high winds, 76% chance of rain. Browns 5-1 to the under at home behind really strong defensive play. They're giving up just 12 points and 192 yards per game at home. The Bears' defensive form has been really good over their past 3 games, allowing 18 points and 282 yards a game, averaging nearly 3 sacks a game. Joe Flacco is a statue in the pocket. Player Chicago and Cleveland under 38. Chiefs and Patriots NFL pick this one here on Sunday. Kansas City running back Pacheco and left tackle Smith are out. Their defensive starters are healthy. New England running back Stevenson out with the receivers Parker and Smith-Schuster questionable. Their left tackle is also questionable. On defense, the linebackers questionable. Kansas City fell to 8-5, a 20-17 home defeat to Buffalo. Chiefs rushed for 82 yards on 18 carries. They allowed 118 yards rushing to the Bills with 209 yards passing on 42 attempts. Patrick Mahomes, 25 of 43 passing for 271 yards with a touchdown and interception. He averaged 6.3 yards per pass attempt. New England improved to 3-10, a 21-18 road win at Pittsburgh. Patriots rushed for 81 yards on 25 carries. They held the Steelers to 3 yards per rush with 182 yards passing on 36 attempts. Bailey Zappi, 19 of 28 passes for 240 yards with 3 touchdowns and an interception. He averaged 8.6 yards per pass attempt. Kansas City offense has struggled on the road by averaging 21 points and 338 yards a game. Past 3 games, the Patriots defense allowing just 11 points and 241 yards a game. Extra rest for New England after playing a Thursday night game. Zappi's improvement is encouraging. Play here, New England plus 8.5. Falcons and the Panthers NFL pick this one here on Sunday. Atlanta left tackle, center, and right guard are questionable. Their right tackle out. On defense, nose tackle, 2 linebackers are out. Questionable with a defensive end out. Carolina's starters on offense are healthy. On defense, 2 linebackers and a free safety questionable. Atlanta sits at 6-7 after their 29-25 home defeat to Tampa Bay. Falcons rushed for 96 yards on 26 attempts. They allowed 148 yards rushing to the Buccaneers with 142 yards passing on 29 attempts. Desmond Ridder, 26 of 40 passing for 347 yards with a touchdown and interception. He averaged 8.7 yards per pass attempt on a rushing touchdown. Carolina fell to 1-12, a 28-6 road defeat to New Orleans. Panthers rushed for 204 yards on 39 carries. They held the Saints to 3.9 yards per rush with 110 yards passing on 26 attempts. Bryce Young, 13 of 36 passing for 137 yards with 3.8 yards per pass attempt. He did rush for 40 yards on 3 carries. The Panthers have a home win against the Texans. They do defend well at home by holding opponents to 268 yards a game. Atlanta has struggled offensively away from home by averaging less than 15 points a game and 276 yards. Ridder on the road, just 59% completion rate, 6.3 yards per pass attempt with 2 touchdowns and 2 picks. Carolina's secondary's played well. They're not giving up big plays, and they've been league average against the run. Play here, Carolina plus 3. Giants and Saints NFL pick this one here on Sunday. New York right tackle doubtful. Their left guard is questionable. On defense, their nose tackle is questionable. New Orleans receiver Olave and right tackle questionable. Their defensive starters healthy. New York improved to 5-8, a 24-22 home victory on Monday night to Cleveland. Giants rushed for 209 yards on 34 carries. They allowed 123 yards rushing to the Packers with 203 yards passing on 39 attempts. Time DeVito, 17-21 passing for 158 yards with a touchdown. He averaged 7.5 yards per pass attempt and rushed for 71 yards. New Orleans is 6-7, a 28-6 home victory to Carolina. Saints rushed for 97 yards on 25 carries. They allowed 204 yards rushing to the Panthers with 99 yards passing on 36 attempts. Derek Carr, 18-26 passing for 119 yards with 2 touchdowns and an interception. He averaged 4.6 yards per pass attempt. The Saints defend well, and DeVito struggled in his road game against a good Dallas defense where he completed just 52% of his passes, 3.2 yards per pass attempt. New York on the road, giving up 29 points and 431 yards a game. New Orleans is an elite pass defense. Play here, New Orleans -5.5. Buccaneers and Packers NBA pick this one here on Sunday. Receiver Chris Godwin questionable for Tampa Bay. On defensive safety and corner out. Their nose tackle, linebacker, and another starting corner are questionable. Green Bay receiver Christian Woods doubtful, with running back Aaron Jones questionable. On defensive linebacker, corner, and safety are questionable. Tampa Bay improved to 6-7, a 29-25 road win in Atlanta. Bucks rushed for 148 yards on 37 carries. They allowed 96 yards rushing to the Falcons with 338 yards passing on 40 attempts. Baker Mayfield, 14 of 29 passing for 144 yards with 2 touchdowns. He averaged a season low 5 yards per pass attempt and rushed for a touchdown. Green Bay drops to 6-7, a 24-22 road defeat on Monday to Giants. Packers rushed for 123 yards on 25 carries. They surrendered 209 yards rushing to the Giants with 158 yards passing on 21 attempts. The Packers had 3 turnovers and took 2 from the New York. Jordan Love, 25 of 39 passing for 218 yards with a touchdown and interception. He averaged 5.6 yards per pass attempt, tying a season low. Tampa Bay defensive cluster injuries a concern. On the road, they are allowing 391 yards a game. The Packers defense has been good at home, holding opponents to just 19 points a game. Tampa Bay sits 32nd yards per rush, just 3.5 yards a carry. Quarterback accuracy also an issue for Tampa Bay. Love has been better at home, completing 63% of his passes, 7 yards per pass attempt. Mayfield averaging just 6.2 yards per pass attempt on the road. Play here, Green Bay -3.5. 'Commanders and Rams NFL pick this one here on Sunday. Washington running back Brian Robinson out on defense and Endis out. Los Angeles receiver Otwell and right tackle questionable. On defense, Aaron Donald questionable. Washington drops a 4-9, a 45-15 home defeat to Miami. That was 2 weeks ago. Commanders rushed for 138 yards on 28 carries. They allowed 123 yards rushing to the Dolphins with 283 yards passing on 25 attempts. Sam Hell, 12 of 23 passing for 127 yards and an interception. He averaged a season low 5.5 yards per pass attempt, but rushed for 2 touchdowns. Los Angeles fell to 6-7, a 37-31 road overtime defeated Baltimore. Rams rushed for 128 yards on 30 carries. They allowed 129 yards rushing to the Ravens with 310 yards passing on 43 attempts. Matthew Stafford hit 23 of 41 passes for 294 yards with 3 touchdowns. He averaged 7.2 yards per pass attempt. Donald's groin injury is a concern here. At home, the Rams averaging just 22 points and 339 yards a game. Commanders have covered 5-7 on the road and entered coming off a bye week. Past 3 games, Rams defense has given up 356 yards a game. Now we could be looking at Donald missing the game. Play here, Washington +6.5. 49ers and Cardinals NFL pick Sunday. San Francisco left and right guard are questionable. On defense, both tackles and linebacker out. A linebacker corner questionable. Arizona receivers Brown and Wilson are questionable. On defense, a linebacker is questionable. San Francisco improves to 10-3, a 28-16 home victory to Seattle. 49ers rushed for 173 yards on 23 attempts. They held the Seahawks to 70 yards rushing with 254 yards passing on 31 attempts. Brock Purdy, 19 of 27 passing for 368 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. He averaged 13.6 yards per pass attempt. Arizona 3-10, a 24-10 road win at Pittsburgh. Cardinals rushed for 150 yards on 38 carries. They surrendered 130 yards rushing to the Steelers with 187 yards passing on 27 attempts. Kyler Murray, 13 of 23 passing for 145 yards with a touchdown. He averaged 6.3 yards per pass attempt. You know, when San Francisco's key playmakers are healthy, they have just pounded teams. Past 3 games are averaging 34 points and 453 yards a game, and they're outscoring their opponents by an average of 18 points. Arizona lost and failed to cover all 4 divisional games, getting outscored by 17 points. You know, that recent 37-14 home divisional loss to the Rams, really not encouraging here. Play here San Francisco minus 12. Cowboys and Bills NFL pick Sunday. Dallas receiver Brandon Cooks is questionable on defense. A tackle is out with corner and safety questionable. Buffalo starters on offense are healthy with the safety on defense questionable. Dallas improved to 10-3. A 33-13 home victory to Philadelphia. Cowboys rushed for 138 yards on 32 carries. They allowed 106 yards rushing to the Eagles with 218 yards passing on 28 attempts. Dak Prescott, 24 of 39 passing for 217 yards and 2 touchdowns. He averaged 6.9 yards per pass attempt. Buffalo 7-6, a 20-17 road win at Kansas City. Bills produced 118 yards on 28 carries on the ground. They allowed 82 rushing yards to the Chiefs with 264 yards passing on 43 attempts. Josh Allen, 23 of 42 passing for 233 yards with a touchdown and interception. He averaged a season low 5.5 yards per pass attempt and a rushing touchdown. You know, it's a late afternoon into early evening game in Buffalo, mid-December, rain and cold in the forecast. You know, these conditions are going to favor the home team. The Bills have won 5 of 6 at home, averaging, as they're giving up just 14 points and 284 yards a game. Bills at home limit big plays in the passing game. Dallas just 3-3 straight up on the road and to the spread, by the way, on the road. And there's a big drop-off in yards and points scored when the Cowboys are away from home. We know that they've been home dominant team. Player Buffalo minus 2. Ravens and Jaguars NFL pick here for Sunday. Baltimore starters on offense are healthy. On defense and safety is questionable. Jacksonville left tackle and guard questionable. On defensive corner and safety out. Baltimore improved to 10-3, a 37-31 home victory to the Rams. Ravens rushed for 139 yards on 26 carries. They allowed 128 yards rushing to the Rams with 282 yards passing on 41 attempts. Lamar Jackson here 24 of 43 passing, 316 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a pick. He averaged 7.3 yards per pass attempt and rushed for 70 yards. Jacksonville, they dropped to 8-5. 31-27 road defeat at Cleveland. Jaguars rushed for 58 yards on 20 carries. They allowed 82 rushing yards to the Browns with 307 yards passing on 45 attempts. Jacksonville committed 4 turnovers, took 3 away from the Browns. Trevor Lawrence, 28 of 50 for 257 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. He averaged season low 5.1 yards per pass attempt, playing through a high ankle sprain. Reported for full practice on Wednesday. He's a tough guy. You know, the Ravens have played to under in 4 of 6 here on the road by holding teams to just under 16 points and 259 yards a game. Lawrence is going to, we know, playing through that high ankle sprain, had a season low in yards per pass attempt last week. That's a major concern facing the Ravens team, sitting best in the NFL in sacking the quarterback at nearly 4 per game. And the Jaguars are allowing 2.5 sacks a game. On the road, the Ravens are averaging only 339 yards a game. Play here will be on Baltimore and Jacksonville under the 42. All right, that was our NFL pick show here for Sunday. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have free NFL picks updated all season long. Free picks every day from all the major sports, making it a great time to subscribe. And also, if you would, support our channel with a like, a thumbs up. We greatly appreciate it. Remember to visit our site, TonySpeaks.com. We're a multi-capper site showcasing top performers. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save that 20% off. You'll find the link to our site in the description. And again, for your big bettors out there, big bankroll players, our executive service get picks from us throughout the betting cycle when lines come out, near game time, and also in between. We move on key information. So make sure you give us a call if that fits your budget, because it is expensive because of the high overhead cost to run a service like this. Executive service, our man Uncle Charlie on the phone right now will help. We'll get you started. 323-607-0203. Call or text. All right, that's our NFL show here for Sunday. Live show 9 a.m. Eastern time on Sunday morning. Steam. I'm Tony T. We'll talk to you guys later.